Hello, beautiful people. Hello, hello. It's so nice to come on live. It's so nice to connect with people, with women, with whoever is choosing to tune in right now. Oh, I'm just so happy to be here. I'm so happy to connect with all of you today, Tuesday, December 2nd. There's something really exciting happening right now. A lot of exciting, energetic shifts are beginning universally. And it's not something that you are surprised by. That's what I'm going to say. The shifts that are happening right now in your life is not something that you are shocked about. It's something that you've been praying for. It's something that you've been waiting for. It's something that you know has been in the works. And it's just been all this momentum, all this letting go, this shedding of who you were to get to this point now. So you're not surprised by the direction in which things are starting to shift and pick up in this month of December. The month of December is all about now coming into a new version of yourself, because the month of November was a very big shedding month. And more specifically, the year of 2025, this entire year has been the year of the serpent. And when we think of the serpent, we think about its beautiful coils and its skin and how the serpent sheds its skin. And shedding the skin can sometimes be the skin being removed in one smooth way. But sometimes when serpents shed their skin, it doesn't come off in a smooth way. So if this last year has been incredibly challenging in shedding, in letting go, and there's been a lot of emotional and turbulent times, just know that come 2026 and even come now in December, we are already starting to feel so much lighter. And that period of shedding all of that skin was really challenging for all of us, because it meant that we were having to accept what is. And when we're having to accept what is, it means that our ego must adjust to the fact that we're getting uncomfortable and things are changing. And when things are changing, there's a part of us that is in resistance because we don't know what's to come. We don't know what's next. We cannot predict. And the reason why we stay in situations that no longer fit us is because it's comfortable. It's because it's familiar. But the challenging part is that we are here in this game of life to evolve. And sometimes it's really hard to accept that it's time to evolve out of a certain pattern of behavior, a certain cycle, a certain dynamic. And when we get that knock on the door, when we get that calling that it's like, hey, it's time now. Olivia, human, hello. You've outgrown this phase. And the more that we sit there in the discomfort of knowing that I'm not feeling comfortable in the place in which I've been for so long, but at the very same time, I don't know how to move out of this, from this. I don't know what to do. I don't know. The I don't know, you don't even have to ask that question. Because when you believe in a higher power, when you believe in source, in God, whatever it may be, you get to remember that it's not actually you that has to do anything. You actually just get to surrender and to let go and to remember that faith is the strongest thing you can possess. Faith in knowing that you do not have to do anything. You can just fully trust that, knowing that this place that you're at right now, you're going to maneuver out of it, whether you try or not. Because the universe has it so that regardless, whether or not you think you have to, it's going to happen anyways. So see if you can allow yourself to surrender more and more and more to just trusting that whatever is meant for you is happening. So even though you may be sitting in the discomfort of like, this is no longer for me, I no longer want this job, I no longer want this partner, I no longer want this situation, I no longer want to feel this way about this. Just know that having that thought alone is already an activation in itself. It's already a prayer in itself. Because when you no longer want something, you're asking the universe, well, what is next if this is not it? So this is where the power of our words, the power of the vibration in which we ask, is the thing that's going to help catapult us to our next level, to the version in which we are wanting, choosing, admiring, desiring to become. So when we start to pray and ask God, source, I want this kind of partner. She looks like this. I feel this way when I'm with them. I live in this place when I'm with them. My life looks like this. Start imagining, start desiring. You want a different job? How do you want to be? Do you want to be in an office? Do you want to be working from home? Do you want to be creating a following? Do you want to be bringing people on board? Do you want to be building retreats? Whatever it is that you want, start imagining it. Start using the beauty of our brain, of our imagination, to start to create your reality, because that's exactly what we do. We use the power of our minds, the power of our heart, our truest desires that we can truly feel at the depth level of our heart, and we bring that to life. Because when our brain and our heart are in coherence, this is a channel for us to actually create our dreams. God lives within us, and God lives within each and every word that we express. And when you say the affirmation, I am, you are literally speaking God. You are commanding as God. I am confident. I am abundant. I am rich. I am healthy. I am receiving $10,000 into my bank account by June 4th of 2025. I am experiencing the most joy I have ever felt in my life. I am bliss. I am healthy. There's something magical that happens when you begin to say, I am. It is a command. And when you start commanding, you start receiving the most beautiful gifts, which is vibration from God. When you start to speak God frequency, you start to shift and quantum leap your entire existence where space and time have no place. And when you start to quantum leap your life at that level, it's not something that anybody else can truly understand. This is not something that you can go and tell your family or your friends and explain to them, well, it just happened overnight. It just happened within a few weeks. Some people will not be able to understand the rate at which you are evolving. Because in order to understand it, you must be it. You must experience it. Now, this is the other part of the equation. When you truly want to start to shift your life, it means that you must take responsible action with who you choose to surround yourself with. When you choose to surround yourself with people who are protesting your rise, who are placing skepticism, questioning, placing doubt, being uncertain, not really understanding, what are you doing? What do you mean you're like saying affirmations? Like, what does that really mean? Like, how is that really like changing your life? How do you manifest from that point? When you have energy around you that you are choosing to keep in your environment that is actively repressing you, you are signaling to God, to source, to your higher self that you do not actually desire what you say you do. It means I'm going to put your manifestations on hold until you start to really show me and yourself that you actually mean what you say. And the thing is that once you arrive to a certain point in your journey where you take radical responsibility for your life, you start to make those choices on autopilot anyways, because you are ready. You already recognize the people in your life, they don't match the version of you that you are desiring. They don't match the future you. They don't match the vibration that you pray in. When you're in that vibration of, I am powerful, I am creating my desired reality, I am desiring the $5,000 coming into my bank account right now, I am desiring the partner of my dreams, I am desiring waking up feeling confident. When you're in that vibration, and then immediately you think about the people in your circle, the people that surround you, do they match that? Do they have the same desire to anchor themselves into that truth? Do they carry that same desire? If it's a no, then you must become aware of how powerful that realization is. And when you decide to start taking radical action on choosing the people that you're going to keep in your life, that's when things are really going to start to shift around for you, because it's time to start taking action on creating the life that you truly desire. I'm going to pull a card right now and just see what is the message that you're meant to hear right now in this moment. Considering everything that we've been talking about, the I am, changing your life for the better, where you're at in your life right now, taking radical responsibility, this card is for you. This card is meant to find you, and actually it's already been done. It's already been said. So whatever card comes out, You already know that this message is for you. You already know that. Okay. Do the things that intimidate you, because what's waiting on the other side is magic. This just goes hand in hand with what I've just been sharing. What's on the other side is magic. What's on the other side of you taking that radical decision, no matter what, like no matter if it's hard, if it intimidates the crap out of you, if it scares you to death, know that that thing that's standing between you and the other side is magic. Like if you knew that whatever is on the other side of this intimidation factor, this fear factor, is the most magical experience, sensation, reality that you could ever possibly tune into, would you let that fear stand in your way? Like actually, like I want to know, would that fear paralyze you to the point where you decide, no, I know that whatever's on the other side is magic, but I'm just not going to choose it? No. Anybody in their right mind, anybody on this planet would look at fear in the eyes and say, I'm not afraid of you. No matter how hard this thing is, no matter how challenging this entire process could be, maybe is, I'm willing to walk through the fire. I'm willing to walk through the darkness where I don't see anything, because I trust that whatever is on the other side of this darkness, of this fear, of this unknown, it's worth it. And this is exactly what life is. Life is that. Every single second, minute, hour of every single day. That's what this is. This entire game of life is this over and over and over again. And no wonder it's hard for people to navigate, to trust. No wonder people lose their confidence. No wonder people go through some of the hardest moments, because our egos are so identified to feeling safe. And unfortunately, a lot of people's ego associates being safe in really horrible situations, because the way their nervous systems have been aligned and formed. And now, as a grown adult, it's now time to look at ourselves on a much deeper, more introspective level, where you can reassess, where is my ego really desiring me to be? Because there's a version of you in your higher self that desires something, and there's a version of you in your lower self, in your ego self, that desires a different version of you. So you've got two things, right? You've got your higher version in how it wants to express itself in its most godlike self. And then you've got the lower version of you that all it cares about is surviving. And when you can sit with yourself and be honest, and when I say honest, I mean like when you can sit with yourself and you can actually be like, okay, I'm not going to bullshit myself. I'm going to speak the truth. Like, how do I actually feel? I don't want to bullshit myself. I want to be honest. Is this true for me? And if the answer is no, then you know that that's the truth. And in order to make real shifts, we first must accept the truth. Then we can start creating deeper changes from that point forwards. But we have to remember that the universe responds to our most authentic self. And when I say the universe responds to everything. But the universe responds in a positive way when we can fully come into alignment with our highest self. When we shift our energy into alignment, where we are resonating with our highest self, we create magic. We heal things that people say we can't heal. We achieve things that people say we can't achieve. We end up doing things that most people would say is impossible. And that's what happens when we connect fully, heart and soul. When our hearts and our souls are connected, anything is possible. And this is what Becoming Her is all about. I created Becoming Her as a container for women to come together because women's intuition is a force of nature. And this force of nature combines heart and soul. And when heart and soul is in coherence, everything is possible. There is no ounce of doubt. There's no shed of fear. There is only trust and surrender because you already know the truth. And when you know the truth, you can breathe better. When you know the truth, everything feels better. When you know the truth, you know that there is nothing to hide from. There is nothing to fear. Acceptance is one of the most powerful things that we can possibly do in our lifetimes. Because when you accept things, you are in the now. And when you are in the now, you are in the field of possibilities because you are not in the past and you are not in the future. You are in the now, where everything exists in the now. So when you start to accept things as they are, you no longer have a mask of illusion. You no longer have just put a veil of imagining things as a different thing. You are with the reality of seeing things clearly as they are. That's powerful. I'm going to pull a card. I'm going to pull up a card right now to go more in depth in terms of what you actually experience in the now. When you are in the present moment, when you have taken the masks, taken the veil off of every single thing, and you are in full acceptance of now, of what is. What happens when you are in that frequency? Let's get a card to clarify what actually happens when you're in the now. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold. So it's like, as we were mentioning earlier, that darkness, right? And the fear of the unknown. When we're in that state where you don't fully trust and you're still seeing things in the fear. But regardless, we all navigate moments of uncertainty where we must come back to faith and to trust. And when we can move through this darkness, when we can move through the unknown with trust and surrender, the magic is on the other side. That trust and surrender is the initiation. Your initiation to shifting your identity, to being the version of you that you desire, is initiated through surrender, through trust. That is your rite of passage. That is your initiation. As soon as you can literally bring yourself into the vibration of now, the vibration of acceptance, to see things as they are, you have opened up the portal to move through into a new dimension. That's powerful. We have another card, equally powerful. The crumbling. What are you clinging on to? The crumbling. So it's a bit of like a tower moment. The crumbling. What are you holding on to? What are you holding on to? So this really speaks to something that's happening right now in your life, in your situation. What is it that's preventing you from moving through that unknown, that darkness, that confusion, and being able to trust? What is it that you're clinging on to? What story, what version of yourself are you holding on to that is not allowing you to see the other side, that you're still holding on to even though it's crumbling? That's the thing. When we're being called, when there's an initiation that is calling us, it means that everything that we know is part of an old paradigm. It's part of an old way of thinking. It's part of an old version of ourselves. That old version of ourselves is part of a past. It no longer fits. It's like putting shoes on that are too tight. It no longer fits. So when you're being initiated, but you're still holding on to something, you're clinging on to it. Meanwhile, everything is falling apart. That can look like many things. Like in a relationship, for example. The relationship could be crumbling for years, for months. It can be at its absolute worst, where somebody keeps hurting themselves by accident. There starts to be more arguments, more disagreements. Things start going wrong, like the car keeps breaking down, or there's like a surmountable amount of stress that keeps adding and adding and adding and adding. And it's like everything just keeps getting worse. So in that instance, it's like the crumbling is happening, right? Like the walls are starting to crumble. And then the issue that people start running into is that they start clinging even harder because they see that everything around them is starting to crash. And this, my friend, is the initiation. When you start to notice that your circumstance is only getting worse, you know that you've just walked into an initiation. So I invite you to take a good look at what is happening in your life where you are being asked to move forward as a newer version of yourself. Where in your life are you receiving this initiation? Where in your life are you being asked to trust the unfolding so that you can navigate the unknown, the fears, the darkness, because you know on the other side that the magic and the upgraded version of you awaits. This is the journey of becoming her. Becoming that version of you requires you to accept that the situation that you're in, the present circumstances of your life, is something in which you must accept in order to move forward. in order to move on. And trust that letting go of the situation, letting go of the identity in which you used to be, letting go of that version of yourself is the greatest thing you can ever do for the evolution of your soul in this lifetime. And this, my friends, is what I'm going to help you do in the Becoming Her 3-month container, where women come together. It's a community where we support each other, where you have support with women from all over the world who are here to shift their mindset, to wake up feeling her, the desired version of who she truly wants to be. That's her. That's now. That is the affirmation. I am her. I am that version of me I've always wanted to be. I'm so grateful to claim that version of her. I am her now. That is what this container is all about. Shifting your mindset, rewiring those parts of your mind, of your systems of belief, of who you thought you were, to truly anchor into the knowing of who you know you really are. I'm going to pull one last card, and I'm so excited to see what is the final message that is needing to be revealed right now in this moment. What is the final message to be revealed for the beautiful soul that is watching right and now? I shouldn't say soul, souls, many souls. The beautiful, beautiful souls that are watching right now. What is the message for all of you? I'm going to split the deck and see what comes. This is the beauty of it all. This is the exact same card that I pulled at the beginning. Okay? Do the things that intimidate you, because what's waiting on the other side is magic. Do the things that intimidate you, because what's waiting on the other side is magic. And I've put the other card away now, but that was literally the card with the darkness and then the magic of all that light coming through at the end. Like, do the things that intimidate you, because what's on the other side is magic. Yes, that is the entire point. Remembering to let go of that resistance and to accept that this shoe no longer fits, and it's time to surrender to what's next. And what's next is magic. What's next is magic. Do the things that intimidate you, because what's waiting on the other side is magic. With that, I send you so much love. Share in the comments what really resonates with you. I'm so excited to hear from you. Thank you for watching. Peace and love. Namaste.